there's an update on the weather for April 10th, 2013. This is mainly for weather. We're going to follow weather from April 11th all the way through the 14th and 15th. So that's what we're going to look at for most of the area. We're going to look at the first photo here. This one's from Matthew Serber. This was earlier last week, and you can see, let me get out of the way here, you can see ice and sleet falling here in southwestern Virginia, and this was pretty much a good deal of, here we go, Thursday, April 4th, Gross Close, Virginia. Thank you, Matthew Server. That shows we can get sleet and freezing, well, sleet and ice pellets this far south and have it accumulate this time of year. So thank you, Matthew Server. And here we go. We have another photo here. This one is in from us by Kyle Kinkoff. Here is Cleveland, Ohio. We have the first photo here, and very nicely done. Thank you very much, Kyle. We have here it is, lightning, and you can see a lot of light here. You don't see the sky, there's a lot of light, that's the lightning. And here we go. This was actually today, April 10th, I believe. And we have the backdrop of a thunderstorm here off in the distance. Thank you very much, Kyle. And Manny Piercefield, here we go. Davis Vantage Pro station. Very nice. I have one of these myself. It's a very nice station. Picture of his Davis Vantage Pro 2. This is the way this is the proper way to mount this. In fact, this Davis Vantage Pro 2 here is about the best mounted one I've seen, pretty much, because it looks like it was done pretty much by a professional, and all the measurements look like they're very accurate. And thank you, Manny, for sending that in. All right. Any of you that have any Davis Vantage Pro 2s would like to share the photos or the data, just let us know and send them in. Alright, we're going to start off by looking at a number of factors. I did leave the last video with a precursor hint of a possible snowstorm in New England, but that's kind of, right now, that's kind of iffy. We're going to focus on some other smaller scale things that are going on, and we're going to mainly, anybody that needs any data for today should be looking at their National Weather Service homepage and NOAA, or like me on Facebook and MeteoMark, and I'll be posting minute by minute updates of the severe weather and the winter side of the storm as well that's going on. I want to make note of a hazard that's going on. Let's take a look at the winter hazards. I'm actually going to take a look at the severe hazards here too. But right now I'm going to focus on the winter hazards. And for tomorrow, April 11th, Thursday, most of the winter hazards here will be up through the northern Great Lakes. And then it's here in western New York and north central New York that we're going to be dealing with an ice storm. So that front will sag south. Upstate New York will get most of upstate New York, except for the southern tier, the Catskills, and downstate New York, will stay above freezing. We will be seeing freezing precipitation, freezing rain across this area from Dunkirk, Jamestown, Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, on up to Watertown, Messina, Ogdensburg, all the way over to Burlington. This could be an area of concern for freezing rain. Significant icing is possible, especially on the hilltops. So, and the bridges and the overpasses. So be wary of that. Note that that is actually going on, and it's in the 60s and 50s right now. So many of you are probably thinking this won't happen, but yes, it will. It's moving on in for Thursday night. But then Friday, the front comes back north before one last gasp of thundery round. So let's take a look at severe weather for. We're going to take a look at the southern, mid and southern end of the front here. There's the back end of the front here too. another 6 to 12 inches east of Minneapolis all the way up through the central Great Lakes. That'll be finishing up tomorrow. And then here across the central Appalachians, eastern Kentucky, Ohio, extending down towards the Gulf Coast, the Carolinas, all the way up into Virginia, and possibly as far east as southwestern Pennsylvania. We could be dealing with another severe weather outbreak for Thursday. And this will continue on into Friday. I will highlight areas for Friday as well. So this is a potentially dangerous situation for portions of the eastern Mississippi Valley, the Ohio Valley, and the central and southern Appalachians. So please be aware of that. And on Thursday, or Friday for that matter, the threat shifts further east to just across clipping eastern North Carolina. And that's what we're going to be dealing with here. Some damaging wind, large hail, Virginia Beach, all the way up to Delmarva, extending down towards Charleston, South Carolina. Those are the highlighted areas for severe weather for Friday. So that is all the hazards we pretty much have to go along with this major winter storm. There's going to be some very, very, very difficult and tricky forecasts. I'm going to zoom in here on my forecast area from New York and Pennsylvania. Well, let's take a look at some of the concerns here. Across we have western New York here, and we have north central New York, eastern Ohio. This front sagging southward here, freezing precipitation, significant icing possible later tomorrow, Thursday, into early Friday morning. And the front sags south into Pennsylvania here. Severe weather across eastern Ohio and extending down towards central Pennsylvania and southward towards Maryland and northern Virginia. And this will be a very big concern. So you see, I just took one example here of how baroclinic temperature differences here are going to affect the weather. And that's what we've been dealing with out in the plains and the upper Midwest as well. We'll have these supercells entrain into the warmer or the colder air, and they'll actually drop thunder, sleet, and freezing rain with heavy winds. So that's what's going on here in the world of weather. This is a very strange and major front, and it should be taken seriously. So severe thunderstorm watches and tornado watches, check NOAA for that, and I will be posting those as well on my Facebook. If you like me on Facebook at MeteoMark. Here's a quick look at temperatures across the lower 48. We'll take a look quick first at Thursday. Thursday's highs, you see the big, huge difference in temperatures across the Northeast and the upper Midwest here. But very warm 80s across much of the Mid-Atlantic, and then extending south towards the Gulf Coast. But it's up in northern Pennsylvania, New York, New England. We get into the really extreme temperature differences here, even through Michigan and extending over towards the Great Lakes. So wherever that front is, if you're north of it, extremely cold, south of it, extremely warm, and in between, you're kind of a mixture. So that as that front wobbles back and forth, you will see quite a bit of differences in the temperatures and the precipitation, as well as the cloud cover and the sunshine. So that's what we're dealing with. So I've highlighted, outlined areas for Thursday and Friday for winter weather as well as severe weather. So heed those warnings, and those areas. Go to National Weather Service homepage to check for the latest up-to-date warnings, or like me on Facebook and MeteoMark. And I will post the most extreme weather going on at a particular area currently. So that's pretty much going to do it for MeteoMark. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Like me on Facebook and MeteoMark. Here's a 4-day forecast for my hometown viewers from Binghamton to Elmira and the northern tier counties of Pennsylvania. We're going to start off here during the day on Thursday. Thursday is going to feature a very cloudy, heavy rain, wet conditions, 3/4 of an inch of rain possible. Temperatures are going to be continuing to drop towards that 40 degrees. And tomorrow night is going to be tricky north of us, north into Cortland and the Finger Lakes. But for us, we're going to be looking at here in the Susquehanna region of New York and northeast Pennsylvania, we're going to be looking at the conditions continuing for heavy rain. Lows will be 37 to 39, with highs on Friday approaching. We'll once again try to approach, say, about close to 50 in some areas south of the New York-Pennsylvania border. North of the Pennsylvania border, it'll be hard to get out of the 40s. So for Saturday and Sunday, we're looking brisk, Kind of chilly with scattered lake effect rain and snow showers. The confidence is kind of low on that snowstorm right now up in New England for the weekend. So we're going to keep it with scattered snow showers across much of New York and Pennsylvania at this time, with considering there'll probably be lake effect. That's going to do it for MeteoMark.